So one of the problems I've been having with this car is that the battery's been lacking juice to get the car started. I've been running a Miata battery for about 2 or 3 years and I think it's finally seen the end of its days.
Plus, I think it's about time that we cleaned up this wiring monstrosity.
We'll finally be upgrading the battery system to a dry cell unit by Odyssey. We'll also be using a proper battery box by Street Faction Engineering. One of the benefits of a dry cell battery is its ability to be mounted in nearly any orientation needed without having to worry about acid spills from normal lead acid batteries. Since the battery has been relocated already to share the same cabin space as the driver, I won't have to worry about venting the acid fumes out of the cabin anymore. Placement is key. Though weight distribution benefits will be minimal in a car that's daily driven, I'll be setting the battery more towards the center of the car across from where I sit to help offset my stick figure weight. No need to take into account any passenger weight since my wife hates riding in this car. Though they do come in other configurations, this Street Faction battery box was engineered specifically for the Odyssey PC925 battery, and luckily comes with pre-drilled holes for mounting. Using a marker can be good, but punch and pack tools are perfect for this task. Just line up your mounting spot, push down on the tool, and it will leave an indented mark in the middle to help keep the drill from running away on you while you drill out the holes. It's fantastic. Now since this is a car that I daily a lot, sees the street a lot, I'm gonna go ahead and insulate the bottom of our battery box with some foam sealant tape, which is gonna minimize any metal-to-metal vibrations and rattles, which might drive me insane later down the road. Now the foam tape that I'm gonna be using is very thin stuff. It's not too thick where the rivets aren't gonna be able to seat themselves properly into the metal.
And there we go. It's not the prettiest thing, but it should do the job in minimizing any vibrations between the battery box and the car.
We'll be utilizing rivets to fasten this beautiful box to Stella. Having never used rivets before, they are actually quite simple to use and can be picked up for less than the price of having to tell your wife that you bought more car parts, because rivets can be used for more than just your race car. Normally, Street Faction battery boxes come with pre-cut and installed foam inside the box to protect the battery from the rivets and minimize vibrations. However, we managed to pick this box up for a bit cheaper because it happened to be missing the foam pieces. The cover utilizes nut certs for secured but easy access with a 10mm wrench, granted you can find it. This battery needs terminal adapters that utilize M6 threads to work with the battery terminals that have already been installed for Stella. Make sure that the adapters are the appropriate size for your terminals, as the positive terminal tends to be a couple millimeters larger. If I recall correctly, mine measured out to be 15 and 17 millimeters. Alright, we just finished up mounting the battery. Everything's wired up. I've moved around some of the wires for the fuel pump, so everything's looking much cleaner, much safer, and I'm pretty happy with how it turned out.
Woo! Look at that! Lots of room for improvement with the wiring, but a lot better than it was before. This little guy here is my biggest problem. I don't have a solder iron on me right now, and I really don't want to crimp them into place, so I'll come back to that later. Much safer than it was before though. Really digging how this layout is. Battery is super sturdy. That's not going to go anywhere.
Now it's just time to see if she'll start. Super pumped on the car being able to start on its own without having to be jumped every single time. That's gonna be it for today, guys. Hope you got something out of it. I'll catch you guys next time.